throw that junk over there. So we got a little sum today. I had my buddy make me up a quality piece of metal for the front end. So I just basically gave him my crash bar, and he kind of went off of that to try and reproduce it. And this is 1 5/8 inch chromoly TIG welded ends, and oh man, let me tell you what, he dropped some dimes on that plate. We've only got one side drilled out for now because he wasn't quite sure on fitment. It's a little bit easier for me to drill the holes on one side, but oh man, I'm excited to put this on and see what it is. There is a little bit of a taper to the edge. You see how it's not touching on either side? That's because if you look at the frame rails, this is kind of straight on. They're both at an angle. So hopefully we can get this thing to fit up first time, get some holes marked out, and then drill them. Because man, I'm excited for this thing. I almost don't want to paint this because man, that is a work of art. He did a killer job. And definitely think I'm going to get a few more of these made up, but not sure on it just yet. But man, what a good looking piece of metal. I know it's only 3 pieces of metal, but there's just something about some quality welding that is just fantastic. Oh, yes. That is awesome. So it's probably a good thing. It looks like if he would have drilled out those holes, they would have just been off just a hair. So I'll get those drilled out here momentarily. And I gotta massage that a little bit because the original crash bar is tack welded in place. You got to break a couple tack welds to get it off. But once we get that on, it is a little bit far to the right. But man, I mean, for him just having the crash bar and making it off of that, that is awesome how well he got it. So let's get this drilled out and mounted up. At least get one of these drilled out and start working on the rest. This is literally going to make moving this car around so much easier, because when I have to push the car back, I don't have anything to push against. But now, got this solid sucker. Ah, that's awesome. That's so much room in here. If anybody wanted to do like a stupid high horsepower build where they need like crazy amounts of room for a giant intercooler, this would definitely fit. And not to mention, you know, he did a killer job considering he just had the crash bar in his hands. If the car was able to be used as a jig, then it would be a lot more precise. You can see this side just has a little bit right there, but you know, honestly, that is the last thing I'm worried about. The next one will be even better, but because this is kind of the prototype, oh yeah. So I'm probably gonna have another one of these made up for Andrew. That's 802 Show. He's the current record holder. He's a good buddy of mine. So quickly, I did remove the crash bar overlapper plastic thing that is on the front or on the inside of this bumper, so there is a little bit more space. And let's get this slapped on. Dang, look at that fitment. That is so perfectly fit in there. Oh my gosh. It is barely clearancing the grill here, but oh my gosh. So basically, I think next time around I will have him move the bar down a little bit on the plates. And sorry about this angle, it's really bad, but it fits. I mean, just right. Ooh, pop my grill out there. It's that extra fitment space we needed. But it barely clears and it fits, and oh my gosh, look at all the room for activities. There's so much room. Usually the AC condenser radiator sticks out a little bit further right here, and then the crash bar is like right there. That is freaking huge. Oh, I am so excited. That is an awesome addition to the build. So thank you to my buddy who made this up for me. I'm going to see about possibly getting some more made up. He's got a roll cage he's working on, and that's why he had this little bit of extra chromoly and was able to knock it out for me. But man, that is huge. I'm that fucking neighbor. So got an hour before the wife comes home and sees what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try and paint this up real quick. And we got all the holes drilled now, top and bottom. Got our 800 grit sanded up, just a little bit of roughness to it. And just gonna paint it the same as my battery tray color for now, at least. I don't know, I might go a little bit more flamboyant later on, but I think that'll be good for now. At least protect it from wow, what a sentence that was. Protect from any surface rust that might happen over the winter. So I'm gonna get that primed up and painted. So hopefully that fan's not too obnoxious in this audio, but I want to cut some holes along the bumper here, because the problem with the OEM crash bar is it takes up that entire space right here, and you can't cut any holes and get any extra airflow. But because I'm going to have this bar, I'm going to cut some holes, and you'll be able to see the bar through the holes as well as have a little bit of extra airflow. So I put in the gearhead intercooler, and ooh, doesn't that look tough? Here, let me close the hood real quick. That is mean. And there's so much space here. I got a ruler here. There is about 5.5 inches between the gearhead intercooler and the bar itself. And we will have that transcooler in here somewhere down low. But that looks insane. Let me put on the bumper again real quick, and then I'll show you the spacing with the bumper. So with the bumper installed, I mean, it's nice and clean up against there. Tons of space, room for activities. And then we'll put the transcooler down here. But I love it. Ooh. But really, if you didn't have any front bumper on, and sorry, I'm in my slippers, so I'm kind of dragging them a little bit. It kind of looks like a Mustang. But I guess, you know, all Ford vehicles look a little bit similar. But not bad at all. So bear with me, guys, on this. I believe I want it mounted this way. Not quite sure yet how we're going to mount up the transcooler. I'm probably going to make some sort of bar between these different mounting brackets that are on the intercooler that work for the AC condenser, radiator, and transcooler. And that's probably the way to go, honestly. But man, I don't know. I might have to paint this the same color as the bar to kind of blend in with the gearhead intercooler. Because honestly, ooh, Jesus. Let's just get me all sorts of jumpy there. But man, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to paint that up. Trying to turn the car on so I can work in the light for once instead of the 4 p.m. darkness. This bar sure makes it easier to move, but man, that is a tight fit. So I got a little extra ambitious and decided to turn the car around. And we've got this bar all painted up on the front. Oh, and what's that? The transcooler is mounted up? Oh yeah. Doesn't that look sick? Let me see if I can get that light out of there. So basically, the transcooler has been mostly finalized. It still needs to be solid mounted up. It's bolted to a 1-inch angle aluminum piece, 1 inch by 1 inch, and mounted where the original transcooler mounts would be. And then she wraps around, goes back in the transcooler, PTU. But man, if that isn't tough, I don't know what is. That is sick. I'm so happy with that, and it fits perfect behind the bumper. Oh yeah. So now with the bumper on, sorry about the backlight. It's a little harsh. But everything fits in there with gobs of room. You can see the transcooler through. I'm probably going to do a little bit of painting on the bracket. Maybe I'll paint the transcooler. I kind of like the fact that it kind of sticks out. But the real thing was I was hoping to get a little bit of cooling through the bottom more than the top. But I'll take anything I can get at this point. So thanks for joining me on this, and I'll see you guys next time.